Welcome to this brief overview of supervision. Like many of you, I have supervision that mirrors my practice. So for face-to-face clients, I have face-to-face supervision. And for online clients, I have online supervision. Before we go any further, I'd like to make a distinction between supervision that's delivered online and online supervision. So let's start with supervision that's delivered online. The supervisor in question may well be qualified and very experienced in face-to-face practice. But what they might not necessarily have is any training or experience in online practice. Hence, there is likely to be a gap in their knowledge around any ethic or legal issues pertaining to working online. There also might be some gaps around technology and what platforms are suitable, etc. Whereas online supervisors are likely to have been, first and foremost, trained online counsellors, so they'll have some experience around issues associated with the legalities and the ethics of working online. And they'll also have an understanding of the practical challenges that we as online practitioners can face. I'm thinking here of when we have a breakdown in technology. So let's fast forward a bit. Let's assume you've completed your training in online counselling and you're now in the market for an online supervisor. How do you begin that search? Well, I guess there are directories we can look at. You can hear about BACP directory. I know there's such a thing as counselling directory. We may even Google. And after doing those things myself, what I realised came up was a list of supervisors who offer online supervision. But when I dug a little deeper, they weren't necessarily trained in how to work online. So this is something for you just to keep an eye on. At OLT, we hold a register of qualified online supervisors, which you are welcome to have a copy of should you need to. You can just email our administrator, Jasmine. And her email address is jasmine@onlinetrainingforcounsellors.co.uk. And just simply say, I'd like a list of your qualified online supervisors, please. And she will send that on. So let's assume you found your supervisor, or you found a list. So what type of a supervisor would you like? Would you like your supervisor to be somebody who just focuses on your client work? Or would you like a supervisor who's able to focus on client work, but is also interested in you and your development as an online counsellor? Let's think about theoretical orientation. Do you think your supervisor needs to have a similar orientation to you? Or are you happy to try out somebody different. Now, I myself was supervised by somebody from a different theoretical orientation for some time. And there were bumps. I think the bumps really related to her idea of perhaps me wanting to read everything when actually that's not me. But nonetheless, we continued our work, and I did learn a lot from her. So never say never. What I might suggest is that when you're starting out, it might be more important to have somebody with a similar orientation to you. So what about level of experience? Would you like your online supervisor to have held a number of years of experience? Or would you be happy to give somebody who's relatively new to the arena a chance and see how you work together? I'm just thinking here of a resource that might be useful to you in your search. It's a book which I thought had been written a couple of years ago. I now realize it's probably about 4 on online supervision. And the book is called Online Supervision, a Handbook for Practitioners. And it contains contributions from qualified online supervisors that shows how they have adapted the models and theories of supervision to work online. I have to raise my hand here, actually. I have a contribution in there myself, which is relatively small, but nonetheless it is there. If you have any questions relating to supervision, particularly online supervision, then please do contact me. My email address is maria@onlinetrainingforcounsellors.co.uk. I wish you the very best for your journey into online practice. Take care.